Hi guys, welcome to our channel. My name is Taylor.
My name is Alexa Rose. We are going to be doing a 2 looks in 1 palette tutorial with the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette.
I think this is a really fun idea because we could show you that you could have one palette and you could do a million different looks with it, so that's why palettes are so great for traveling and having in your makeup kit because there's endless opportunities with them.
I think the palette is going to be worth your money.
Okay, and if you want to see how we got these 2 totally different eye looks, please keep watching.
Going far away, I'm living my dream, I'll be home in a couple of days.
Okay, so now we might look a little crazy, both have tape on because that's just a really good guide for us to see how far the eyeshadow should go for that more cat eye shape.
Yeah.
We both off camera set our eyes with a little powder. I use Tempera from the Soft Glam palette.
And for me, since I have oily eyelids, I like to use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder just because it gives it a nice matte, clean look.
Okay, and for my look, I'm going to go for something more bronzy and gold.
For me, I'm going to be taking more of the pink rose gold shades from the Soft Glam palette, and I'm going to put a dark color all over my lid.
Okay, so I'm going to take the little double-sided brush that comes with it. First color, I'm going to pick up Rustic, and I'm going to put this in my crease and on my outer V.
And for me, I'm going to be taking the shade Burnt Orange, and I'm going to be putting that same area. Make sure you are blending. Tap that excess.
Oh no, this is why I really like the tape, because I just know exactly where to go.
Now for me, I'm going to be taking a more pointy blending brush, and I'm going to be taking the shade Sienna, and I'm going to put that same area but a little bit lower.
Feel again, we're bringing this back to life. We're picking up where we left, off and on again.
So what I'm doing now is just dipping back into that light color Tempera, and I'm just going to kind of lighten things up and blend it out seamlessly.
I'm going to take a plain, clean blending brush, and I'm just going to blend that all in together. I feel transition shades are really important just because you don't want a harsh line in your crease, and that transition shade really blends everything together.
Yep, and now I'm going to go in with the color Orange Soda. And this is actually one of the first eyeshadow shades I ever had. And I think it's always been just a perfect transition color because it is a more neutral orange, and it kind of just acts as a great barrier for a lot of colors.
Now I'm going to take the shade Cypress Umber, and I'm going to deepen my outer corner. Make a V shape.
And we're going to be dipping back into a lot of the same colors a lot, and I think with eyeshadow it's really important to get it perfect and just to keep adding and mixing colors until it gets to look how you want it to.
I know for my eye look it's more of a nighttime look since I am using a lot of darker colors, but you can easily make it into a daytime look by using lighter shades.
Okay, now I'm going to take my MAC 217 brush. It is probably my favorite blending brush ever. And I also like it just to kind of get a whole bunch of color, just kind of swept across the lid. And I'm going to dip into that Orange Soda again and just put that all over my lid. And make sure I blend it in my crease.
I'm going to take the shade Rustic, and I'm going to put that right underneath my crease and deepen it up.
Okay, so now this is what mine looks like. And now this is probably the most important step for my look, is taking concealer to cut the crease. Now I'm not going to be doing a full cut crease. I'm going to do more of like a half or inner corner kind of cut crease.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be doing the same thing. I think concealer is a really good base for eyeshadows, especially with the shade I'm going to be using, Sultry. It's more of a very high pigment shade in the palette other than, let's say, Fairy. It's more of just a regular shadow.
It's more chunky
Yeah.
too. Not in a bad way, but it's just like a thicker, like chunkier glitter. And yeah, the concealer is just a great way for it to kind of get something tacky to stick on. And we're both using Tarte Shape Tape. I use the color Fair Neutral. This is just what I use for under my eyes too, to kind of brighten. I think you're the same shade.
I'm the same exact shade, yeah. When you are picking a concealer, especially if you're highlighting, you want to pick a shade that's a little bit lighter than your foundation shade. Normally it's like two to one shades lighter than your foundation.
And I like to just go in right with this doe foot applicator, put in my eye, and then I'm going to blend it out with a brush.
For my concealer, I'm going to be putting it pretty much all over my lid, but I'm not going too far into the outer corner.
To blend out my concealer on my eye, I'm going to use the Morphe S4 brush to kind of pat it down. And it's important to pat, not swipe, because then you'll get like patchiness.
Pat, 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 pat.
And when I'm doing this kind of like half cut crease, I like to stop right where the brown part of my eye stops. That's kind of a good little guide, just so you kind of have that whole outer moment.
Now that my concealer is all patted out, I'm going to be taking my finger now. Sometimes with chunkier eyeshadows, I like to use my finger instead of a brush. You get a little bit more pickup that way. So I'm going to be taking the shade Sultry. I mean, look at that. It's such a pretty shade. I'm going to be taking it and I'm going to put it all over the concealer. And you're going to want to pat and not swipe. I think that looks so seamless. Do you guys see the difference? I think it's such a pretty...
Okay, and now to kind of set that concealer I just put on my eye, I'm going to dip in tempera again, and I'm just going to pat this down on the concealer. This isn't what I want to cover it with, but I like just putting another base just to ensure that it doesn't like slide around or anything.
Now I'm going to be doing the same exact thing to the other side of my eye. I got my concealer.
Okay, now to put a little bit of glitter in my look, I'm going to dip into the color Glistening with a Kiko 202 brush. I'm going to dip it in it and then I'm going to spray it with some Fix Plus. This one is my favorite. It's the coconut one of the scented ones, and they actually just brought it back permanently, so that's super exciting.
So now that I have the shade Sultry down, I'm going to be putting the shade Rose Pink in the center of that, just to give it more of a bright look. And again, like what Taylor does with her Fix Plus, I like to use my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I just like to spray the brush and put it right on my lid. I'm going to be putting it right in the center of my eye, just to brighten it up a little bit.
And I love this palette. When we actually saw the leaked pictures for this, I remember she texted me right away.
Yes.
And she was like, we need this. This is literally the perfect palette, and I think if I had to bring one palette with me anywhere, it would be this. You could do so many looks to it. It could be so simple. It could be so glam. And I think it's just perfect for a lot of seasons and, you know, everything.
Yeah, it has your basic everyday colors, so you could do a full glam look or you can do a simple everyday look, which makes the palette really worth it. We're gonna try and post videos around twice a week, so stay tuned for that. And if you guys have any ideas on what videos we should do, just leave them down in the comments below and we'll see if we can try and fit them in our schedule.
And now what I like to do is when I have a shimmer into a matte, you can blend it, but that's a lot of work. And actually what I've been recently doing, which I love, is blending it in with another shimmer.
Perfect.
And I'm going to just take this highlight shade and put it at the outer corner of my eye. Okay, so now I think we're both complete.
Yeah. Now off camera, we are going to be putting on false eyelashes,
Liner, and the rest of our face makeup, so
Yes.
we'll be right back.
Okay guys, we're back and off camera we finished the rest of our makeup.
So I hope you guys liked today's video. We would love for you to like, comment, and subscribe. And we just want to thank you for watching.
Yeah, we hope you liked our 2 looks in 1 palette makeup tutorial, and we hope to see you guys next time.
Thanks.
I'm a southern girl.